Hey beauty besties, it's time for a makeup no makeup tutorial featuring a chocolate nude look. And I'm getting started with some foundation primer. I love this foundation primer because it smells like cocoa for some reason. And you know I'm chocolate, so I like to smell like cocoa. But most importantly, I like this foundation primer because it has a sunscreen in it, and that gives me extra sun protection, and it just helps create an even canvas for my foundation to be applied to. So I apply it to my forehead, nose, chin, and each cheek, and then I go through and spread it around evenly. And then I follow it up with some oil mattifier. So just a little oil mattifier in those places where I know I normally shine. These are not necessarily the places where the sun hits me. This is where the oil comes out of my skin, and I see it, and I shine like crazy. Tip of my nose, middle of my forehead, and right on the apples of my cheeks. They just glow naturally, but it's a little too much glow for me, so I put on a little oil mattifier. And then following that up with some eye primer. I will be applying eyeshadow today, so I want to make sure my eyeshadow stays on my eyelid. So that's what the eye primer does. It gives the eyeshadow staying power, it gives it something to stick to, and it gives it a nice surface to be applied to. Sometimes our eyelids can be a little oily, and this just gives the eyelids a nice matte finish. And next up, we're going to hit the brows. Y'all know I have naturally high arch brows, so I really only use this brow tint to give me a fuller looking brow. It doesn't, I don't use it to add any thickness to my brows. It just makes them look fuller. That makes sense, because you know sometimes you can make your brows look like Tahoma 12-point bold font, and I just like mine to look nice and natural, so I'm just keeping them the same width but just filling them in so they look full. And then now I like to conceal around my brows, so I usually use two different concealer colors. So the first one is going to be a shade that is about 2 shades lighter than my skin tone. This shade is called light bronze, and then I will also be using deep bronze. So light bronze just gives me a nice highlight underneath my brow, and you will see how that highlight will benefit me a little bit later. So this is the deep bronze concealer, and I'm going to apply that at the beginning of the brow and along the tail of the brow and above. So this one is the shade that is most likely just 1 shade lighter than my skin tone. So yeah, you don't have to necessarily just use that one concealer color. You can add in other colors to get the look that you want. I know I like a little highlight underneath my brow without necessarily applying any extra eyeshadow, because this look only requires 1 eyeshadow color. And this is me just outlining my brows after I have filled them in just a little bit. And you see I'm working with that tail. I'm right-handed and that's my left brow. It's a little bit easier for me to apply this to my right brow, but that left brow, it gives me a hard time sometimes. So then here I am just spreading out that concealer so it doesn't give me that super outline look. And now I'm going to blend that concealer in with the rest of my skin, just to make it look a little bit more flawless nice and give it a natural looking highlight effect. Nice, and look at that. See how that light bronze just pops up right there in the middle of my eyebrow as a nice highlighter color, and that deep bronze just blends right into my skin. And next up, the Beauty Blending Sponge, because I need to make sure that my foundation has some staying power. So you want to wet the sponge and squeeze it out several times. Really about 10 to 15 times you want to squeeze it out. Just put it up under the faucet and with some lukewarm water and just squeeze it. This helps the blending sponge just hold the product better and blend the product better into your skin. And it just makes it softer overall. So here I am just applying some finishing spray to the sponge and just patting that all over my face. Evenly patting that all over my face. And what this does is give my foundation some extra staying power. Because who wants their foundation to rub off on different items? Not me. So then I let that dry just a little bit, and boom, my CC cream. It is my go-to dash out the door beauty in a flash foundation. It is definitely for everyday wear, and I love this CC cream because it has a pump. Okay, it's not one of those squirt tubes. It has a pump. So I start by evenly applying the CC cream across my nose and working my way out around my chin, along my cheeks. I usually just work the lower half of my face first, and then I move up to the upper. And I love the liquid foundation brush because it is not just a flat foundation brush. It's flat on the tip, but it is kind of fluffy because of the shape. So it is good for blending liquid foundation. And look at that glow that CC cream gives me. I just love it. A nice mocha chocolate latte glow. See that glow? All right, and we're coming back with that concealer and that light bronze concealer. See, make sure when you're recording your videos, make sure you have a new tube of product, because there is no way I should have been swirling and whirling that wand in that tube like that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to go ahead and apply my eyeshadow first. Usually I finish my eyes before I go to the rest of my face, but I totally forgot. And here's the blending sponge. So remember I said I'm only using one eyeshadow color for this look. Just one. And this is Hot Fudge. And I am applying it, just patting it directly onto the eyelid, exactly where I applied that eye primer, patting it right into place, because you pat eyeshadow to place it and you sweep it to blend. But sometimes you can blend and sweep the eyeshadow right off the lid. I dab a little extra eyeshadow right in the corner because I wanted it just a little bit darker. And here I am blending that one shade up, and look at how that is blending out with that light bronze concealer. It gives that eye a completely different look. And remember, fluffy brushes blend. So that's with anything. and it looks like I applied several different eyeshadow colors, and I applied only one because I let my concealer do some extra work. And this is how I clean up the outer corner of my eye, just making sure that I'm pretty much erasing anything, any fallout, and just making that eyeshadow pop. And the other thing that this technique does with the concealer underneath the eyes like this, it helps with lifting the eyes and making you look more alert. And that is just another liquid foundation brush. I have multiples of the same brush just so I can use them for different things. And I am literally just blending this concealer downward. And it's giving me a nice little highlight also right on my cheekbone. And this is just me dusting off the excess, rubbing the excess concealer down the bridge of my nose just to give me a little more highlight on my nose. And see, be careful when you're putting that concealer underneath your eyes, because you really want to make sure it's not a lot of product. And I usually go back with my foundation brush right around my temples to make sure that that concealer is blended in. Alright, we got setting powder. You know, where you place concealer, you're supposed to set. I did not set around my brows like I was supposed to, but wherever you put concealer, you set it, okay? So here I am. These are cheek color brushes. Okay, rock session. These are cheek color brushes, but I love the way that the brush is fluffy, yet it has this nice angle to it. Okay, check that angle. So it fits perfectly underneath the eye. So I tap off the excess setting powder and press that setting powder into that concealer right underneath the brow. And instantly you see what that does. You know, that line that I have right there underneath my eyes, it is diminished a little bit, and then it deglosses, if that makes sense. It adds a nice powdery finish to those areas where the concealer is, or those areas where I don't want to see that excess shine, like on my nose. Now here's a trick that I learned from watching some other videos, and this helps me with my contour. So I usually use my nose as, not my nose, I usually use my natural skin tone as my contour color, and I'll use my concealer and my setting powder as my highlight color. And y'all, do you see this cheek color? It's called Juicy Peach. Okay, and normally I would not have ever tried this, but it gives a nice glowy, peachy, suntan look to my cheeks. So I am just applying this cheek color. I realized I did not apply the cheek color in the same direction on both sides, but once I get to blending, I blend it in the same direction. You know, it's about angles when you're applying products, because you can apply a product from your cheek straight back to your ear and it will make your face look droopy. But if you just angle it up at that 45-degree angle, it just gives a totally different look to your face. It makes your face look lifted. All right, and then we are going in back to the eyes with a waterproof liquid liner pen. Okay, this is not something you speed through. The only reason it looks like I'm getting through this fast is because this video is sped up. Okay, I really take my time with these short strokes, because if you do not, it is very easy to mess up with liquid liner. And normally I have a little mini compact right there in front of me, so I have a mirror directly in front of me in my hand, but I could not find my palettes, my little perfect palettes this morning, so I am doing this eyeliner with a mirror far away from me. Even though I have on contacts, that is pretty far because I can't see. Okay, here is the ultimate mascara. It is definitely my favorite, my go-to, because it adds volume and definition to my lashes, and I love that. I absolutely love it. So you see how that mascara just gave me an extra oomph on these eyes? I love it. It's not a lot of hard work, and I can even apply it to the bottom lashes with ease. Uh-oh. Yep, that happens to the best of us. If we're not careful, moving too fast, that mascara wand will catch us. Then I just go back, I wipe it off, and then I go back with my foundation brush and dust whatever is already on the brush. That is what I use. Cover up that spot a little bit more. Alright, now I'm using my fluffy blending brush to blend out that setting powder that I had all over my face. And sometimes right up underneath the eyes, you can squeeze the brush to make it slender enough to do what you needed to do up under your eye. Alright, here I go, spraying some more setting spray on my face. Just kind of sealing it in. And then last but not least, lips. So I love a dark chocolate lip liner. It allows me to wear whatever lip color I want to wear. If the lip color is white, honey, I'm putting on dark chocolate. If the lip color is burgundy or merlot, I am putting on dark chocolate lip liner. Because lip liner, for one, helps your lipstick or your lip gloss stay on your lips and not bleed outside the line. And then for two, it gives your lipstick or lip gloss something to adhere to so that you have a little bit more staying power on your lips too. So the lip gloss I just used is Chocolate Nude. It is definitely my go-to black girl nude lip gloss. It just gives my lips like a clear look, but it's brown, so it's nude, right? And see, check me out, checking myself out after I just finished this chocolate nude look. I love playing in my hair at the end of my videos. See, I like volume too. And I hope you enjoyed this chocolate nude look. Thanks for watching, Beauty Besties. Make sure you subscribe for more self-care and self-love.